Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Emily Botnick, and I'm 27 years old, and I live in a small town about 20 minutes from Sandy Hook, Connecticut. Today is December 14th, 2024 at 6:56 in the morning. And I'm sitting on my exercise bike getting my steps in. And during this time, I do a lot of prayer and reflection. And I think anybody from Connecticut, as the day gets closer to the day that this horrible tragedy happened. And I know what it was, but I'm going to use the word horrible tragedy because YouTube doesn't like certain words, and I want as many people to see this video as possible. Because I think it needs to be said. It's been 12 years since that horrible day. Just a little background on me. Like I said, I live about 20 minutes from Sandy Hook. I was in my first semester of my sophomore year, I was in my first semester of my sophomore year of high school. And I was in the cafeteria for study hall because it was the week before the Christmas break. And I remember this vividly because we had most of the people in my class had just gotten iPhones. And that was the big thing on that time. And we had all had the same default notification. And I don't remember if it was the news or if it was the news on Twitter that came, I forget which app it was, but it came over that there was an issue at Sandy Hook, and we were placed in a soft lockdown or whatever. Meanwhile, at this point, my anxiety is already going, but little did we know what it would entail. 26 angels have been taken from us for 12 years. And I was sitting actually in the shower the other day, and this was yesterday, because, obviously we remember and we honor them every day through the projects that have been done and stuff, but, as it gets closer, it's the only thing that's on your mind. Anyhow, I remember I was like, wow. I was like, Mom, some of these kids have been in heaven longer than they've been alive. And she was like, well, yeah, because some of them were only, 6 years old. And I know that may sound like, duh, obviously, but it's that's insane. Of course, that should never happen, never have happened. And, I just think about the bravery of the 6 educators who were just like, no, these are my babies. I'm not going to let anything happen to them, But yeah, I can't believe it. But these families have turned absolute tragedy into, I mean, I don't necessarily believe that they, like, you know, forget, obviously, but they've turned absolute tragedy into something beautiful and something, like, that could help other people. One that I am personally, well, not personally connected to, but one that I have participated in over the years is the Vicky Soto Memorial 5K run for like the last 4 years, I believe. I mean, I've heard about it for the 12 years, obviously, but they do it the first weekend in November on her birthday, or her birthday weekend, I believe. And it's like the entry fees and stuff, and you know, the amount that we pay to do the race, which there's also a virtual option, which I think is beautiful too. That's what I do. But anyhow, the amount of money that we pay and stuff, it's a scholarship fund for new teachers, because I believe Vicky, she was 29 when she passed away, so I believe she was a very brand new teacher. So they give scholarships away in her name to students in college that are studying to be teachers. And then another thing that they do at the race is or you know, other times, is they have a book drive, like where people can give like children's books and, you know, fill a library basically, which I think is beautiful. Some of the other families have had parks built in the children's names, which I've always said that I wanted to visit. I think I might have visited one, but I want to visit them all if I can, because that would be a nice tribute. And, you know, some of the other families have been very involved in, like, this is just my personal opinion. Like, I know that, like, GUNS, gun, well, I think I can say that word. I know that guns are very, like, a political statement, right? Which I don't think this should be politicized at all, and unfortunately it has. But anyhow, you know, some of these families have been very involved in, you know, countless trips to DC to, you know, talk about mental health and talk about, you know, gun laws and gun reform and all of this stuff that I'm not educated about, so I will not be speaking on. But yeah, and then I believe it was Dylan's mom, Nicole Hockley, and like his parents who created like this foundation or organization or program where like they go into schools of like elementary and high school, you know, and middle school too. I was just reading about it a couple days ago just to like refresh, to where they you know, they teach people like see something, say something, but how to do that like in school, and like how to find a trusted adult, and like, you know, with social media being what it is today, like how do you take that to being, you know, like, see, well, I mean, obviously you take everything to be serious, right? But like, you know, teach them like look for, you know, XYZ and stuff. And then for the educators, they, you know, they teach them like how do you know the signs, or like see the signs of, you know, XYZ or whatever. And I think too, they made like a virtual packet, which is really cool. because, like, I could reach even more people. Like, I was reading, like, some testimonials or, reviews or whatever, and it said, like, where they were from, and one was in, like, New Mexico, the other was in, like, Texas. I forget where the other ones were, but they were, like, all over, it wasn't just a Connecticut thing. So today we honor and remember and reflect the 26 angels. Like I said, that's mind-blowing to me that some of them have been in heaven longer than they've been alive on earth. That's wild to me. I don't understand why things like this happen, and yeah, you could say, mental health or whatever, but I don't think I'll ever understand, because there's plenty of people with mental health who don't hurt other people, you know what I mean? But again, I'm not one to judge or, to say that I'm educated on everything. I'm just saying that it's senseless. It doesn't make any sense. And like I said, these families have been able to turn something evil and tragic into something beautiful. And I just want them to know we never forget, never forgotten, always remembered, and may their memories be a blessing. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you later.